Are we good?
Yep.
Okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are Tales from Flipside. CBSI presents Tales from Flipside, episode number 12. We're going to beat the impressible defects if we keep doing this. So we're going to beat them eventually. I'm AJ Diesel. Until the real AJ Diesel shows up and we find out who he is, I'm going to proclaim that I'm AJ Diesel. Guys, introduce yourselves.
It's Ben S. From comicbookinvest.com.
John Z, who sounds way better than Stein, who is reporting from the road, I believe. So thank you for visiting us.
Yes.
Scott Reagan from Forgotten 5 Comics.
P-Dubs here from Paul's Planet of Perpetual Problems.
I didn't hear the beer.
I know.
What happened?
I'm drinking a bottle of water right now.
Oh, man.
Oh, jeez.
I know.
Are we going to start with Paul's problems right away? Is this the segue?
No, I don't know what this is. I had my 3 weeks off for the new baby, and then just trickled away. I haven't had a drop of alcohol in 5 days.
Oh,
wow.
my God.
Wow, man.
Paul's seeing life very clearly right now. We're in trouble.
Well, sometimes a new baby makes it just not worth it either, too.
Maybe. I don't know. It's weird. The desire is gone. Like I lost my mojo, but we'll see. I'm sure I'll get it back.
A few weeks back to work, and then I'll be back.
When I get my first kid, when I actually know about, I'm probably going to be drinking pretty heavily. So.
Don't answer your phone on Father's Day.
Yeah.
How is the baby, Paul?
She's good. Doing good. Just kind of taking turns when my wife makes me, and
You getting any sleep?
more than my wife.
Nice.
But
As long as somebody's getting sleep.
right. No, it's going well. She's a good baby and eating good, and yeah, everything's great. The gassiest baby I've ever seen. It's ridiculous, like a machine gun.
Oh, she gets that from her dad, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's definitely hereditary.
Yeah, someone's got to sneak up the house now that my little break.
Right.
But I wanted to lead us off with a couple reminders / help to whoever's out there, either listening live or on our recorded podcast. But just wanted to let everybody know that any reviews or comments are definitely appreciated. Reviews on iTunes or Google Play and all that stuff. We want to make this podcast fun and interesting for everyone who listens. So it's fun for us when we show up. But we enjoy doing the show, but it wouldn't be enjoyable if we didn't really have an audience with feedback. So any reviews or comments can help us out and grow. The reviews on iTunes and whatnot help us be known a little more. And then as far as comments on Google Plus or wherever you see our links posted, the website, we look at those and we keep your feedback on a list. So we had some great ideas back when. So I wanted to give a request to everybody that if you haven't seen your topic covered yet, shoot us a reminder one way or another, and I'll add it to the list that I was keeping at the bottom of each outline. I copy that every other week, just so we can, if someone says, what are we going to talk about this week, we can go down there and do some research and stuff. So I wanted to lead off with that just to help us out, help us grow, and give us some content.
Give us feedback. Let us know if we're good, if we're bad, what we do right, what we do wrong.
And I guess I do want to clarify too that I'm not AJ Diesel, but the guy is writing massive, great articles on the website. I just don't know who he is. So
yeah, AJ Diesel, we're calling you out. Good work.
Good work.
Shout out.
Yeah.
But Dino seems like an AJ Diesel.
I'm not gonna lie. If his real name's AJ Diesel, that is badass. He should be like a middle linebacker in the NFL or something.
Ben, what'd you do? You sounded great when we talked. Tested your mic earlier. Now are you down the hall? What's up?
Does it sound like crap now?
Yeah.
Are you talking from the shitter?
Yeah, you sound like you're in the bathroom.
No, it's just.
Did you remember the speaker issue? Did you change that setting back? Where you're hearing us out of your headphones versus the computer speakers?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I'll mess around with it. If it sounds too bad, just kick me off and no big deal.
God damn it! I forgot to bid on that fucking Cardi item.
Toy.
Yes.
Jesus,
Hey,
Coy.
You know,
Yeah,
you know, you know the
Set
funny
your
thing.
snipes, Z.
You know the funny
Well,
thing.
I don't
Z?
do that, man. I don't snipe. I like to fucking live life in the moment and do it.
You don't like it right now.
Hey,
Well,
Z,
how's this moment feel?
and Z, you might.
It
Z,
wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, Z, you might have forgotten, but I didn't.
Did you buy that fucker?
No, I didn't. I'm joking.
I was like, son of a bitch.
Was it that Titans book?
Yeah. I don't need it, but it was a good deal.
It did it sell?
I gave you that one earlier today too.
You did. I looked at it all week, and I just, between the kids and everything else, I just totally just forgot.
See, that's why you set your snipe and it does it automatically.
I don't like the snipe tool. I like to fucking live in the moment, man. And sometimes it bites me in the ass.
No, I think Z doesn't like the snipe tool because he actually will buy way more shit than he wants to.
Probably
Yeah.
that too. I just like to be able to watch and go, okay, I missed that. Now I can go for this. No, I missed that. I can go for this. Now I got this. So I can't do that.
There's plenty of fish in the sea, right, Z?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna die over that book, but it is annoying. I'm trying to get the first Titans kind of keys in 8 and above.
We're watching two lots right now. So we'll see how this goes tonight.
Our snipes are set and ready to go.
I got one book that I'm like halfway paying attention to for the rest of the night, and that's it. I went big on the comic link already, so I'm okay for the week.
So that Incredible Hulk #1.
Yeah, right. No, I got a book that nobody fucking gives a shit about, but you know, a handful of people. But it's an old kind of I don't. It's probably more of a funny animal book, but it's Frank Frazetta's first professional work in anything.
Oh wow!
And it's got kind of a sweet cover with all blue and some kind of demon thing on the front. It's not his cover, but the cover is cool enough, and it's dark blue cover. Tally ho #1. So I upgraded from a 5 to a 7.5, which is I think the 5th in the census, and kind of after that they're all 5s and below.
Yeah.
Is it a Western cover?
No.
Okay.
It's if you I'll see if I can pull it up and put it in the link, but it's a pretty cool cover for what it is.
Okay, cool.
It's one of those just random kind of old comics that have a mix of crap in it, honestly.
I forget. Were we gonna lead off with the trade paperback, or did we change?
No, you guys can do that.
Yeah, we can lead off.
I didn't do my homework, so I'm gonna probably not talk too much.
You can always cheat.
Yeah.
Look at Wikipedia.
I'm gonna say whatever Paul says is wrong, and that's my argument.
Okay.
So we wanted to bring back our trade paperback review, but we forgot to mention last time that we were going to do it every other show. So this week we did Days of Future Past. So spoiler warning if you haven't read that by now.
I think this is one you could go without a spoiler warning.
From 40 years ago.
Yeah, if you haven't read it by now,
or watch the movie.
Well, the movie is pretty different. I'd say the X-Men cartoon probably followed it closer.
No, that's
yeah.
true.
But it depends what you read. The trade paperback contains X-Men 138 through 143, and then X-Men Annual number 4.
See, mine didn't have Annual 4.
Me neither.
In the you didn't miss much, but in the
That
the
picture
order
you sent. Wolverine. What did he get? What did he give? He gave Nightcrawler a picture of himself.
Yeah. So the order in the trade paperback is 138, and then the annual, and then 139 through 143. But the main story for Days of Future Past is only 141 through 142. So they just wanted to fill a trade paperback thick enough to sell it for $20. But
but I got to say the other issues were pretty good. I like 138 was really cool. Yeah,
I
great history.
Yeah, I like that timeline recap because I didn't really read a lot of X-Men. So I knew of some of the bigger stuff. So it was a good highlight of the different villains they fought and stuff like that.
I like how they used the old art too.
I guess I didn't like it. It was just them bitching about how they actually had to save everybody. Like, oh, this guy came in, and it just, I don't know, it seemed like a big bitch.
I mean, Cyclops was the original emo kid.
Yeah, I know.
He is a whiny fuck.
He was so whiny. It's like, dude, God, it's like you're going to like Xavier school, like learning shit. Like, oh, you gotta battle somebody. It's like, Jesus.
He was definitely on suicide watch that whole issue.
I laughed when they talked about Mesmero. They just mentioned that he turned the X-Men into carnival freaks, and I guess Beast saved them or something. It just sounded like a Jimmy variant waiting to happen. And then the picture they had is him sitting on the desk with his one leg up, which just looks pretty bad. But it was hilarious. Other than that, it explained, why Cyclops leaves the X-Men after Jean's death, and then it introduces Kitty Pryde, which is probably the...
Well, she was introduced before. This is her joining the team.
Oh, my mistake.
Yeah, I don't remember what issue it was, but it was a little bit before that they actually introduced her.
Okay,
but
so she comes to the mansion at this one.
Was it
this is her joining the
book
team.
even?
This is one...
I think it was an X-Men book, but I think it was sooner.
Yeah, I just feel like she was in something off. Maybe I'm confusing her and Rogue, but I don't know.
All right, we'll keep an eye on the chat if anyone knows when the first Kitty Pryde is.
All three listeners.
Yeah.
Crickets.
2 of them left after you started the podcast. So.
Well, there's 4 watchings, but probably most of them are us. Oh, Will is here. He might know.
All right, so we after 138, Paul goes into king size 4.
Man, I mean, it was all right. I don't know. I was short on time, and I was like, "Where is this going?"
It had nothing to do with it, probably.
Pretty much, it's a Nightcrawler story with Doctor Strange guest starring. I mean, it was kind of entertaining, but they go to a fictional hell mimicking Dante's Inferno to save Nightcrawler's soul. So at the beginning of the issue. It's Nightcrawler's birthday, and one of the gifts he gets is a little statue of himself. Then it explodes in his face, and he just collapses. But the best part of the whole issue, in my opinion, was in the beginning. It's his birthday, and and like Scott said, Wolverine gives him a framed portrait of himself of Wolverine.
Ultimate dick.
Yeah, and when he's opening it, Wolverine's leaning against a table eating this big ass chicken leg the size of his face.
It's like a turkey leg almost.
But that's kind of badass because I would see Wolverine like doing that because it's just badass of him. Like I'd do it, whatever.
But anywho, they save Nightcrawler and he gets some backstory on his life and blah blah blah. So,
you know what I find interesting about the whole trade paperback was like Wolverine is the way he is back then, like completely like berserker. Like if something triggers him, like he goes, claws are out and he's ready to kill. It's just funny seeing that versus like how he is now, where he's a little bit more mature and reserved.
And I like the rage factor too. Like how he says like earlier in his years, like the rage factor only lasts so long. It's not like he's an ultimate badass right now. You know what I'm saying? Like he's badass, but he's like
another thing that they don't say he's like unkillable either.
Yeah,
they just say he's got healing factor and his bones can't break.
Well, I mean, I don't know if this is jumping ahead, but during the thing, remember he gets blasted by that fire and he almost dies.
Yeah,
he did die. Oh, by the fire the fire.
The fire, like if he lasted a second longer, I would have been dead.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I thought adamantium wouldn't melt, but I mean, he was. I obviously, I guess his skin would melt, right? I guess.
So I guess that's the evolution of him. Maybe like back then he wasn't as powerful.
Yeah, later in the issue that's addressed, but or in the run rather. But anywho, 139 and 140, just kind of more backstories.
Wendigo.
Yeah, Kitty Pryde kind of getting her legs and like a background Wolverine Canada / Alpha Flight story.
Well, Wolverine has to go back to Canada because there's like I guess a warrant out for his arrest or something like that. Because he quit Alpha Flight and the government didn't really release him.
Yeah, they didn't accept his resignation, so he went back to.
And then he has to help them friggin' get Wendigo.
Yeah, that was a random cameo.
Yeah, really weird.
But then they were very Canadian, and then after it all said and done, they just let him go, like very Canadian-esque.
I guess you're okay, eh?
Yeah, we're sorry. Just like,
Wolverine forgot to say sorry before he left. That was the whole thing. So they had like a Hulk 181 flashback. Will
Yeah,
was
that was
saying in the
pretty.
chat-
That was cool. The 181 flashback.
Yeah, Will was saying in the chat, I guess Uncanny X-Men 129 is the first Kitty Pryde.
129. Yeah, I knew it was sooner. I thought in 139, I thought there was an awesome Danger Room scene.
Yes.
Couple pages long of them battling in the Danger Room, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it looked pretty neat. I'd have to look at the book, but I remember what you're talking about a little bit. I just picked out random things that stuck out to me because they were funny. Shout out to Mel, the pre-ho storm was taking Kitty Pryde to some dance lesson or something, and some guy was trying to hit on her on the street, so she made this small rain cloud just right over his head, and told him to cool off or some bullshit. So yeah, Wolverine and Alpha Flight, Nightcrawler had to turn Wendigo back to George Baptiste. I think that was the guy's name. So he's Wendigo is basically like the Hulk. It's a normal guy who turns into a monster.
Mindless monster.
Then the last page finally leads into Days of Future Past with Blob breaking out of a prison, and they set it in 2013. But what do you guys think of the main storyline? I typed a little bit of a summary for the plot.
Those two books are probably some of the best two books in comic history. I loved it.
It was definitely different from the movie.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. That's Hollywood, but...
I mean, think about it. What was it, in the 70s?
Yeah, the 70s.
There wasn't too many stories that were dark back then. Like, I mean, it's easy to think about that now, but like to put it in context of back then, like
still
70s.
Feel good comics time.
Yeah.
But so they introduce you to this world where the Sentinels and the government program have kind of taken over. So they've segregated everybody. So there's three classes. There's H for baseline human, which means you're clean of any mutant genes and you're allowed to have kids. There's A for anomalous human, which is a normal person, but you have the potential for mutant genes, so you're free, but you're not allowed to have kids. And then there's M for mutant, and they're total outcasts. They're put in like a ghetto camp kind of thing together, and
an internment camp.
An internment camp, yeah. They all have collars on that inhibit their powers,
which is very similar to the TV show.
That's what I was gonna say. The Sentinel thing too is like when they banish the Sentinels, you know. Did that happen in the cartoon? Do anybody remember how that happened?
It's been too long.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I didn't think that happened like that in the back.
But I was surprised. So they went over not everybody, but they went over who was alive and who was dead. So the main cast of who was alive is Wolverine, Kitty Pryde, Storm, Colossus, and Magneto. And they're all working with Franklin Richards, who's the last of the Fantastic Four, and then his wife, who's a telekinetic. But they had like a page where they had a bunch of people's faces with X's over them.
No, it's the cover of 142.
Let's see.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With Wolverine and Kitty Pryde, and then behind them the poster.
That one was all the X-Men, but in the story itself, they had an offshoot. So there was people like I didn't know that in the storyline these people were dead, but they had Daredevil, Spider-Man, Vision, Doctor Doom, Captain America, Black Panther, and Ghost Rider, and maybe a couple other people. But those ones I just didn't know tied to the storyline that they were dead as well, which is pretty cool. But anyway, other part of the storyline, they made a device to send someone back in time, kind of like the movie, except for the book, they send Kitty Pryde back instead of Wolverine. And what started the whole crazy segregated society was the assassination of Robert Kelly, Professor X, and Moira McTaggart. The Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, led by Mystique, killed them, and then after that, there's a big outrage and legislation and yada yada. But so while they're back in 1980. Meanwhile, in 2013, Wolverine and company are going to the Sentinel headquarters to prevent nuclear war, because in 2013, the Sentinels weren't happy with just having the United States. They wanted to take over the whole world to
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah, right. For safety, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
It's to keep everyone safe and in order.
yeah. But so while they're there, you know, it was a whole setup where the Sentinels let them in to their headquarters, making them think that they were sneaking in. But when they get there, they're discovered, and right as Wolverine is doing a fastball special, one of the main Sentinels turns around and just completely obliterates him, like Dino was saying, down to his skeleton. And I think that's how he died in this one. Is
he died. Yeah,
that super blast.
Mm-hmm.
So they just show part of his skeleton laying down on the ground. And then what else was there? I also like that Colossus goes berserk. Storm gets killed in that room as well by one of the Sentinels. And then in one of the next panels is an entire Sentinel just flying out the side of the building after Colossus loses it.
Yeah.
I mean, they mention, you know, Colossus is usually kind of a gentle giant and blah, 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 but Storm was kind of a sister to him, so
he's kind of a whiner.
Pulled a Wolverine. But they didn't show Colossus die, but the telepath, when she was with Kitty, said that she sensed all of them die. And then back in the past, there's this mutant who can tell the future, but things are getting murky because Kitty Pryde has gone back in time to try and fix things.
Yeah, she's changing things.
And so you can't really defend yourself against her because she knows your next move. And but she can't read Kitty because it's her 30-year-old self or 30-year-old consciousness in her, what is she, 16 or?
No, she's like 13.
Yeah, so it's in her 13-year-old self. But so she's able to sneak up on that mutant before she kills the senator. I think he's a senator.
Yeah.
But and then right as she saves him, her consciousness switched back, and then her 13-year-old self has no idea what happened. And then the end of the story, you think everything's good and fixed. They don't show the future, but then they it makes it seem like they're gonna, you know, just read. All they did was delay things because they were gonna do the same type of legislation with who's it, the backing of the Hellfire Club or something like that. I have to look. Do you guys remember?
No, I don't.
Who is so it's going to be head up by some guy named Henry Peter Grinch. I don't know that name from X-Men.
Yeah, I can't remember who that is.
But let me see here. It was what was the name of the Hellfire Company? I don't know. Anywho, the last something called I don't know if this turned in any plot line, but it was Project Wide Awake, and then they were going to work with Sebastian Shaw's company or whatever to basically, all the whole storyline did was seem to delay the inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, they're waiting for that catalyst event to be able to jam this new attack on mutants, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta see they have to have the people see him as a major threat before they can do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
And what?
Yeah, it's it was like legislation, or you know, some type of, so they can move the legislation forward or whatever. Because then they had to vote on it or whatever.
Yeah, it's called a false flag.
Yeah.
They're going to redevelop the Sentinel program in the end. Is basically what they were going to do.
There's always going to be people that fear, especially if they're. I mean, if there was mutants in our day, there'd be people trying to kill them, figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at the whole zombie thing. I mean, like if zombies are real, like people already like got, you know, could you imagine that stuff? I mean, not even zombies, but like if mutants are really real, like how much shit, you know, it's like.
Yeah, we'd be.
I thought Dino was trying to say that there was really zombies.
No.
It did sound like it. Yeah, it feels like the zombie problem we currently have. It's exactly like.
No,
I don't want to get into politics too much, but I have a feeling the person in office would not appreciate mutants.
I mean,
depends upon who are the mutants.
He would probably employ them, but he would be not pro them on the real world.
There was one zombie movie. Gosh, can't remember what it was. It was a comedy though, where they controlled them. So the zombie had they have collars on and they walk your dogs and mow your grass and shit like that. Can't remember what it's called. It's pretty funny. Had the chick from The Matrix in it, but
oh yeah, I've seen that one. It's like Fido.
Yes, yeah, Fido. So I mean, if you really want to think about it, obviously zombies are much more real than dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's true. And I wasn't saying that. I was just saying that people are like taking fucking bunkers right now for like a pending zombie apocalypse that's never gonna happen.
Yeah,
because I was. Yeah.
And then I don't know what they did with 143. I think it was just a Kitty Pryde thing. At the end, it said, at the end of 142, it said, "When you're alone, Kitty Pryde, no one can hear you scream." And then the next issue, they call it a demon, but it looks like the alien from the Alien movie.
It's exactly like the alien.
Yeah, I didn't even read it. I just ran out of time. I mean, I flipped through it. I looked at the pictures. I think that's what Tony does for comics. He said,
just a picture guy.
It's easier than reading.
Yeah, I mean, it was an R8 issue. I mean, there wasn't much to it, like you said. Just her fighting this alien. She basically figured out some of the shit she could do with her powers.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's relevant. I
think she was able to like figure out how to walk on air a little bit.
Yeah, she did that in the Danger Room. In one of the earlier issues, but I just didn't want to have another annual king size annual moment.
The cool part about it is she basically trashed the entire mansion. Because she basically, this thing comes in and it's chasing her all around the mansion, and she goes into the Danger Room thinking that she could kill it with that, but then the alien basically trashes the Danger Room. So she goes out and what else did it trash? Basically every room in the house, broke the skylight in the garden, Storm's garden, which killed all her plants. And then the Blackbird got destroyed. She ended up having to use the Blackbird's engines to incinerate the alien.
Nice. So. Yeah, I thought of the Blackbird. One of the earlier issues when Kitty Pryde her 30-year-old self first comes back, they take one of Angel's private jets. I guess.
Yep.
Because they weren't going on a mission, they were going in disguise. Yeah, I think that was it. They're going in disguise to Washington.
Yep, and he owned like the biggest private jet company or whatever it was.
Well, he's a billionaire, so.
Yeah. For a second, when I read it, I just didn't understand why they wouldn't take the Blackbird, but now I get it now.
Incognito, Paul.
Yeah. What's that?
Is this not your browser setting? Okay.
Shit. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if anybody really liked the annual issue, I don't know. I guess I was waiting for the Days of Future Past storyline. I mean, it was an alright read. Maybe because I was too fresh for time. Later,
it sounds like the books that they put in the trade don't really. I mean, other than 141 and 142, don't really have anything to do with the story. They're just kind of.
Yeah, it's just 141 and 142.
Yeah, they kind of help develop. I mean, a little bit of backstory on Kitty Pryde or whatever.
138 was like the. Yeah. They had to fill it. I think like I said, my issue didn't have the annual, which I'm grateful for.
You only missed that one great panel.
They could have probably got rid of 143.
Yeah, I think it was
just made it five issues. Yeah.
But it was still
141 and 142 were awesome.
Yeah. I mean, 143 was still Kitty Pryde focused, and she was the main focus for Days of Future Past too, so it makes sense.
Well, that's them starting to push her.
Right, yeah. And Dino, you were saying about Wolverine popping his claws every 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
When they were in Washington, I don't know if this was developed later for Storm, like her how she led the team, but she made Wolverine put his claws back in.
I know, that's crazy.
I was like, I've never seen that happen before. That was interesting. But
you don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Mel said she's a hoe, so.
You know, she could have been like, "Yo, I'll cut you off."
Right.
Wolverine's like, all right, I'll chill.
But overall, I liked it. I mean, it's definitely different from the Hollywood version. They had to spice it up. And
I think it's weird that you actually, like, when you think about when that was written, like Storm and Wolverine, I mean, they'd only been around for like 4 or 5 years at that point, so they were still really new characters.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to see how new and fresh they were.
The only thing that kind of, I don't know if this is really annoying. So I think it's just the way they wrote comics back then, but they were really descriptive.
Yeah, very wordy.
As far as Kitty Pryde is going to fall through this trap unless I make my tornado and catch her. Just like descriptive of what they're doing versus letting you just read the comic. And
I don't think the art is as expressive as it is now.
That's true.
No, I think what we've learned, reading this and Watchmen and some of the other ones from the 70s, early 80s, is they were really heavy duty reading.
Yeah, I think it has to do with the digital art nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like versus a comic book, like it's hard to hand draw everything to be like crazy in motion and stuff like that. I think too.
Yeah, but I mean the digital stuff's only been around for what, 10 years maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, the 80s and 90s weren't, the late 80s and 90s weren't like that. I mean, I don't, when we read some of the other stuff, it was not like that. I mean, Superman was terrible.
Yeah, Superman was terrible.
I don't know, unless some weird marketing thing where they just realized they can make the same amount of money and not have to put as many words in there, so why bother?
Well, I've read some random Golden Age stuff, and they're pretty, I mean, they're different, but they're pretty wordy too. I think comics just kind of have evolved more towards art and less towards words.
Yeah, I mean the Silver Age stuff's kind of tough to read. Like I tried to read through the Spider-Man, I got to about 65 or 70, and I gave up.
Well, that's also Ditko was, he was.
No, I mean I don't mind the art. It's the words. Like it takes you 25 minutes to read one issue.
Well, the stories, though, were also very heady. He was very, his political and, social views and all that were also, he was very different kind of atmosphere than the other writers do.
Yeah, but I mean, the majority of them were all wordy and descriptive and slow, basically.
Well, I think if you look at it, there was a lot of just characters in a scene. There wasn't action, like Tino said.
I was flipping through
there wasn't flows and splash pages and
I was flipping through the trade and I got to the first issue for Days of Future Past, and when they go into that internment camp, the first thing they do after the gate is they have to walk by all of the headstones for all the other mutants that have died.
Yeah, that was pretty fucked up.
Nice big like middle finger every time you come and go. But also in the next page in that issue, Magneto's in a wheelchair instead of Xavier. And I don't know. They never explain that, do they? Do they just say?
I'm sure he just got his back broken or something.
I don't know. Anywho, what was next?
Carnage. Carnage.
Is that the? Is that the French version?
Carnage.
Yeah, I mean that's a couple issues have blown up.
Yeah, I mean 361 is more than doubled in price overnight.
I sold a not mint copy for a decent chunk of change the other day.
I mean 9/8 are going for what, almost 500 now?
Yep.
They're
creeping up there.
It's funny. I had one that I acquired about a year ago, and I razzed it because I wanted something else. I'm like, well, it's not rare. I can buy another one. I'll buy another one. It'll be the same price in a year. Dumbass.
How much did you razz it?
Well, it was this. I was gonna say it was the same price up until just a few months ago.
Yeah, a few months ago.
I was trying to get a newsstand. I'm like, I'll wait for a newsstand at a good price, and it never happened.
And in the day the news broke, they were what?
About 250, 260.
Yeah.
I know.
Maybe
I know.
275.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think there was like a couple $300 sales like here and there, but yeah, it was mostly
I'd be willing to bet if you
225.
they were newsstands.
What's that?
Willing to bet if you hit the 300s, they were newsstands.
Yeah,
There's
probably.
a slight price difference.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think of the?
What's it? Go ahead, Paul.
I was gonna change topics. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What do you got?
I was gonna say, I mean, what do you guys think are the ones to have? Just 361 and 300, unless you already have like 344 and 360.
I mean, 344 is probably one that you could find and not pay a fortune.
I had one up and I sold it. I mean, I didn't make a ton on it, but I was getting offers left and right. I mean, I probably had 15 offers in a day on the damn thing.
Yeah.
How much is Cletus actually in that issue?
No idea.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I didn't know if the whole hype was kind of similar to the Hulk 180 versus 181. I mean, it's just.
I just think it's another book to get. I mean, it's people that want to be completionists. You know, you're going to get that. They're going to get the Maximum Carnage run, but I don't know that it's going to get. You know, if you sold the run, you'd probably get a little premium.
And I wonder how much newsstands are going for non-newsstands.
I mean, it's like a $25 book probably.
Newsstand versus regular.
Yeah, I mean, regular is probably a little bit less, like 15, 20 maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I sold mine for 25 the other day without.
There you go.
Without much work. It was a nicer one. I mean, it was probably a 9.6. But I sure wasn't going to grade it and wait.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I think we'll see. We'll also have to see what storyline they go with for the movie. What plot lines leaked that they're maybe going to go with.
I think another book that nobody's thinking about, and it's pretty rare to begin with, is there's that Maximum Carnage hardcover. It's a red leather-bound edition. I think it came with the video game. And I don't know. There's a couple thousand copies, not a lot. And if you can find just the book sometimes, and sometimes you can find the whole like a case. It came with a game and a book and some other stuff in it, like a case that opens up with like, you know, insets for these things.
I bet Matt would know.
They were going for about $400 to $500 before this, and I don't know if they've jumped. You don't see enough of them to say that. It was on my kind of short list of random, you know, hardcovers to look for, but I'm gonna guess that's not gonna happen now.
Yeah, not when you mention it live on the air before you looked for it.
I don't think it's gonna happen anyways. They don't come up that often.
And plus, our 10 listeners won't affect the price value. So
That's true. I mean, Jimmy might buy a copy or Scott, and that's about it.
I put your where's the Carnage thing? I put your potential thing. I have that topic expanded at the bottom. I figured that
We should probably jump to that.
yeah, we could jump to that, or we could blow through this Netflix thing I typed.
Let's jump to that because they tie together.
Yeah, all right. So we were going to talk about like what has the potential to explode like this. Like what could be the next book.
Yeah, because I mean, it got me thinking because like 300 was like the gold standard book at a grand for 9.8 for what? How long has it been there, Scott? 2-3 years?
Easily, yeah.
I mean, since I've been in, that was, you might be a 900, might be 1100, but it sat right around a grand for a long time. Hence, I never chase it because I'm like, it's not going to go anywhere. There's the supply and the demand have even. There's enough copies for everybody. And I thought
we are in a different world now.
And I thought the same about Carnage. And it's not like you can't get these, and it's not like you can't get them in 9.8. I mean, 300 is maybe the most creative book now, or second. 361 is probably not as high, but I'm sure there's a shit ton. So what other books did we have that thought of? They're just out there. Why do you invest?
Z 300 was selling for 1,000 all the way back in 2004.
Holy hell! I mean, it was the gold standard.
I put that down. This whole topic's down. You got to scroll down on the outline. But we were looking for, when we were talking about this, we were throwing out books. But I know Z, you wanted to stick to more of established books that today.
I think the established helps.
Yeah, something you don't think will ever go higher.
Yeah,
maybe even something. Yeah, maybe even something that you fear has already peaked, and you're like, well, this will never go higher, so I might as well just get rid of it.
Yeah, not lotto picks, but what is the market doing? And then why did this happen? I mean, why did these books jump like that? Why did somebody being in a movie? Why did Tom Hardy make this book jump? You know what I mean?
I mean, honestly, the main thing is Spidey fans. They're rabid, and there's a ton of them, and that's one of the main reasons why I started collecting Spider-Man. Just because I realized people buy Spider-Man. Like, you don't have to hold on to Spider-Man books too long.
But what made him realize that a month ago I could have bought it for $1,000? Now I'm willing to put $2,500 on it.
I think them
missing out.
Well, that
fear of missing out.
Well, and the Venom too is like they're actually taking the Venom, because we all thought, like, is Venom going to be good? Is it going to be really a good movie, or is it just going to be a so-so movie? And I think Tom Hardy brought that air of it can be a really good blockbuster movie.
Yeah, but the prices already shot up before it was Tom Hardy.
Well, I mean,
I think Tom Hardy stabilized the high prices to stay there.
Well, there's been talk of a Venom movie for years, and then it got announced, and then him signing on, I think.
Oh yeah,
go over the edge. I don't know. Maybe the book has just been, since you said it's been the same damn price for 15 years. Maybe it was just time to jump, and maybe we just weren't paying attention to it.
You were asking if it was the market getting bigger, or just more buyers, or ASM fanboys, or all of it, nostalgia.
Why did that book stay that price for 15 years? Hell, that's another whole question. Shit.
Well, I mean, I think right now we're in a different age where there's a lot more people in the game. So, I mean, those ASMs start drying up everywhere. People got to look to eBay now.
Yep.
Yeah, but they're not. I mean, they're still. I mean, you look at almost any other key. You go to any comic shop, they don't ever have any of them, but they almost always have an ASM 300.
And like you said too, when you go to walk around cons, dude, how many 300s are on the wall? It's like
they're everywhere.
But what's the easiest book to sell?
It is, but I mean,
that's the best. That's the reason why. Like, I ended up having like almost 20 of them. I think I had 19.
You're a smart man.
Yeah, because it was like you said, there was stable prices. There's so many of them sold that you can get in on if you just pay attention and wait, you can get that low auction price. Get the cheap ones, because there's so many out there that, like, let the people that don't know what they're doing buy the high price ones. And I mean, honestly, it's so liquid, it's so easy to sell. It's like just basically banking cash.
I'm still just trying to figure out. I mean, we're all five of us are, we're really heavy into comics. Mm-hmm. But I'm not spending $2,000 on a ASM 300.
No, I am not. So I'm in sell mode. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, who's buying them? Somebody. I mean, there's a ton of them selling for that. So who's dropping $2,000 on this stuff that has $2,000 to do it?
I think there's honestly, I bet you it's guys who try to pick, like NYX number 3, right? When it's going for 400 or 500, I bet you people are trying to go like 600 or 700. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to get the next bump. And they're betting, hedging their bet that at $2,000 I can make it at $2,500, $3,000, and sit on my money for like until the movie comes out. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, who even has that kind of cash? I mean, no new collector has that kind of cash.
No, it's old time guys. It's guys who've been in the game for a while.
Money.
Yeah. And it's like, and to them, it's not even about the book. It's about it's like we talked. I think we kind of talked about this at Indie.
Not having the card.
Well, yeah.
Being a member of the club.
Yes, that's right. It's not even that. It's just like we talked about this. It's like Indiana to San Diego Comic-Con kind of thing. Like, Indiana's for like collectors, but San Diego Comic-Con's for like the Wall Street mutual investor kind of guy who's like, I'm gonna just buy a bunch of books and sit on them. Like, kind of like how Z's talking about. Like, investing your money and then watch it bump up and then I'll sell it, and I have no attachment to it besides just making money on my money kind of thing. You know, that's what I think, but I mean I could be wrong too.
I mean, comics have been a pretty safe investment the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think people that normally invest in like the actual market or real estate, they probably have come over, and honestly, they have more money than we can compete with, so they can buy it whatever they want.
Yeah, and like you said, like 300 is a low risk book if you think about it at 2 Gs. I mean, you know, it's not like you're going to lose money, right? I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, if you're not so you lose maybe $200, it's like 1,800, 1,900, but the potential for like going to 2,500 is pretty decent, you know.
I mean, what's the ceiling of it?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here even since we've been talking, and I think I was thinking about it wrong last week. It's truly, why did it not jump with every other goddamn book that's, you know, I bet if we put a trend of the market, a trend of almost every other key, they have, you know, moved up, and the high-end ASM was just stable for that long. That's crazy.
Well, I just don't think the rush to go out there and buy it was there, because like you said, you know,
there's a bunch of them out there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. You can wait for it, you know, wait till you get a cheap one, or you know, pick something up off the ground.
Well, and like you said too, how many Scott might know this? How many 9/8s are out there? You think, Scott? Like true 9/8s?
What, raw?
No, graded.
No. Graded?
I'll get it. If you don't have it up, I'll flip for us.
I think there's a few hundred probably.
Yeah, I mean, like you said,
there might be like close to 1,000.
I bet we're pushing 1,000.
Yeah,
and that's just a CGC.
Yeah, and that's just Blue Label.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. I'm willing to bet we're pushing.
I mean,
1,000.
I think the last time I checked, there was over 15,000 graded copies of this book.
Correct. We covered that the other week, and it was put over 15.
But again, this is just one of them books that just bucks the trend. Like, people want it. It you know, it's got everything. It's got a great cover, an iconic cover, a first appearance of a character that people love, and I mean, it's Todd McFarlane masterpiece. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you get those three fan bases; they're all pretty rabid in their own in their own way, and then you make a Venn diagram of them crossing together.
You know, I can't believe you didn't buy that 9.9 in 2015. What were you thinking for 12 grand? Yeah, you.
No, I was buying them cheap when I could.
Yeah. But a 9.9, it's the only one in the census, man. 9.9.
Yeah, I'll just stick with the 9.8.
I'm kicking my ass for it, and I don't even buy that many moderns. And I'm like, what the fuck was I ignoring it for?
I've
sold a handful of them. I mean, I haven't had a shit ton like Scott, but I've sold 3 or 4 of them in the last 2 or 3 years.
I don't even think I've had one, Z. I don't even think I bought one.
I come across them.
Oh no, I take that back. I gave one to I traded one to Scotty. Remember, I gave you one, Scotty, I guess.
So there are 705 Blue Label 9.8 CGC.
Wow.
And 183 yellow.
So
couple restored and qualified. So we're hitting 895 at CGC. Mm-hmm. I would say add CBCS in, we're probably let's call it 1,000.
So I mean, now okay, so we have 1,000 out there floating around right now. Let's do a little analytics on this. How many think are going to show up in the next 6 months or whatever until Venom drops? How many you think out of that 1,000 going to show up? 100, 10%?
A lot of anybody trying to just collect it for money.
I'd say, well, I mean, CGC's been getting a little bit stricter on the copper and bronze, in my opinion. My last batch was a little rough on them.
Mm-hmm.
But the moderns were perfect, so yeah. I don't know.
I mean, but how many 9.8s are people going to resell? Like Z said, is somebody hurting for money, or you trying to, you know, who bought them for maybe cover price back in the day? You know, who knows? But yeah.
No, I'm just blown away by when Scott told me that 2000 or 2004 they were $1,000. I mean, that boggles my mind.
Was there news back then of a maybe, or is that because of the
movie? No, it just had demand. Maybe though there have been enough graded over time just to keep up with that demand. I just can't understand why for 15 years it was a straight line.
And
that's the high price on 2004, but it did sell for $1,000. Low price was 604, but it was.
So there's been a little growth.
Very stable. Never dropped down though.
And like you said, but what book has done that besides like a major, like a Fantastic Four #1 or something of that magnitude?
I think those are coming out though. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. This feels like is other Scott still in the YouTube? It's a project for him.
Yeah, figure it out.
Figure it out.
Scott, we need you to do some data analytics for us.
I wonder. Well, Spider-Man 3 was in 2007.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man 2 was 2004, so maybe it correlated to the movies like it is now.
I just don't think. I don't think Spider-Man, with the exception of the Venom movie itself, has shit to do with the price of that book. They can make movies, not make movies. Spider-Man, it doesn't matter. I think that's a falsity in our assumption. Is the whole point was Iron Man made a fuck ton of people money because the movie was so much better than the expectation and the character. The same with Guardians of the Galaxy. But just to put Spider-Man, who everybody knows about in a movie, shouldn't really cause it to go up.
But we're in a speculator's age now.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know that Spider-Man has a ton of bearing on movies. Amazing Fantasy 15 is not going up because of fucking the new Spider-Man movie.
No, I mean, but I think they're going up just in general because the whole market is going up.
Correct. They are just
they're riding along.
It's one of the keystone books, so to speak, as is 300.
Mm-hmm. And Hulk 181.
Yep.
Yeah,
things like
those are still. I mean, it has no bearing. They could make another Wolverine movie. I don't think the price is going to bump. It doesn't matter.
No, it didn't bump with Logan.
Yeah, I mean, those characters are established. The people know them. It's these secondary characters, if they get it right, like the Guardians of the Galaxy, that can see a jump.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they did any sort of short or long scene where it's Wolverine and Hulk versus each other, it would shoot up.
Yeah, it could.
Depending on how well they did it. But I don't know. We have a short list. What else do you think is out there that...
I put a list, and I don't even know if I buy it now, just thinking, because all those books have jumped because of random things.
It's on the outline. I went back to the chat.
So I started this discussion a couple times with people trying to pick some brains, and I'd thrown out First Lobo because that does have that high nostalgia factor for our generation. Yeah,
it's easy to get.
It jumped once already when there was some rumors and some news, and maybe if there were a true casting, I mean, if The Rock would have been Lobo, it would have went fucking ballistic.
I think that's a good one, Z. That's a real good one.
I mean, I bought a whole Lobo. I remember Indy, 2 years ago, Z? I bought that whole run of Lobo for like $30, man. A whole run of Lobo.
I think I've sold all mine, but I've never had a 9.8.
No, I didn't either.
Because I always think, I don't want to spend that much on it. But maybe I do. But that book has jumped because it used to be, you could get a 9.8 for under 100, and now it's usually 150, maybe 175 sometimes even. So it's seen a little jump. First Gambit was another one that came to mind, but I think that one's
came back down.
It's been up and down, so maybe it does have potential to jump again, I guess, if they did it right. But
yeah, Raws are like 50 to 75 right now, where they were like 2 or 3 years ago, or before.
I don't think Gambit's that strong of a character.
I like Gambit. Gambit's my favorite character, probably.
It would have to hit really well.
It'd have to be some kind of like almost Deadpool-ish type way, like.
Yeah, it would have to just be like perfect.
Yeah.
The other one on this list, I mean, some of these are other people's ideas. The other one that's Spawn, yeah, but man, the print run on it's nuts, but so is ASM. I don't know.
Spawn 1.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, if you could get...
Maybe Spawn 1 is not 1. Maybe it's all those other books, the Malibu Suns and the errors and the funky versions of them. I don't know what the black and white maybe.
The newsstand.
Spawn black and white.
Rust.
Well, that's a good book because I mean, if you can get it for $5, buy it, pick it up, and put it in a box and wait.
Yeah, I mean, it's got potential. It's so low. You're probably not going to make a butt ton on it. Like you're not.
I could see it being like a $15 to $20 book.
I could see that too
on the steady.
I think it is probably a 10.
So I mean, if you could buy in at 5 and then sell it at 20, I mean,
anybody know what a Spawn 9.8 goes for?
Like $60-$70 maybe.
So honestly, about the same as the modern. So,
Yeah.
I mean, a brand new modern off the shelf is going to go 50, 60
And I'll tell you what a good investment would be. Maybe buy like a sealed case of them
yeah.
if you ever had the opportunity.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
9
think-
go for 115.
Probably. Wow, that high?
Well,
What's the average?
90-day average is 95.
Wow. So that's starting to creep up then.
2016 average was 79, so it went up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think what's different about Venom and Carnage though is just the fact that that symbiote they can put on other characters to like show them like look oh look this is Mary Jane Venom or something like that. There's really no other character that I can think of where you can put that on any into where it has like universal appeal across the whole the whole universe. If there was like there's like nothing in DC that I can think of that would do that. But I think that's what separates Venom and Carnage so much is just that they can be used in so many different ways. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
No, it's a good point. Very good point. I mean, look what Marvel's doing right now with all the Venomized stuff. Venomverse and Venom this and Venom that.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Carnage, monthly Carnage. I still want them to do Carnage with the Star Wars so they can have a R2-D2. That would be awesome.
So, I mean, obviously Venom sells for Marvel, so that's why they're doing all this Venom stuff. So, I mean, Venom crazy, man. There's Venom everywhere. I mean, look at the, what about those Venom variants? They've exploded too. So, I mean, I think that could probably be one of the main reasons for that book spiking.
Well, it's a cool. It could be a
true.
cool cosplay too. If you're a beefier dude, you could dress up as Venom now. I haven't seen too many Venoms, I guess.
You like the beefier dudes, don't you?
Yes.
Hey, that costume is. I mean, you really think about it. I mean, how it's like liquid and stuff. It just makes everything look so cool, and you can do so many things with it that I really think that those two characters just kind of separate themselves. Now, there was another. There's like a Son of Carnage, right, or something like that.
Son of Carnage.
Like
There's a bunch of symbiotes.
I mean, I think that. I mean, I don't know what other symbiote names or anything like that, but if you're talking about things down the road, that's something like that.
Anti-Venom and Toxin.
Toxin is a Son of Carnage.
Yeah, so I mean, things like that. I think just because of the costume and the way that they can be used. If I don't even know, are there really low print runs of Toxin variants? I have no idea.
No idea.
But I agree. I mean, whether or not 361 maxes out, I really think that the Carnage variants, they're harder to find than the Venom variants. But I always thought that Carnage looked cooler than Venom just because of that evil look that he had. I don't know.
You always had that just little derangedness to him, and you're just like, this dude's crazy.
Yeah, so I've always thought that the Carnage variants could really blow up because some of them are just impossible to find.
What are some of the harder ones to find?
Pretty much any of them. I mean, any of the ones from the Carnage, the Clayton Crane. What was that? It was like a series back like 2008 or 7 or something like that. They just look amazing. Clayton Crane. That's pretty much really the best thing that he can do. He can't really draw faces that well, so Carnage works out great for him because he doesn't have to draw a face. But a lot of those second prints are really hard to find. But even the ones from the most recent series are not that easy to find. But I don't know. I just think they have that look that people will. If they actually do make Carnage look impressive, I think those variants could be the way to go. Again,
you can get them cheap, so you can get them cheap too. So
yeah, you can get a lot of them fairly cheap.
Whoa.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Chloe?
I gotta chase that dog down.
Well, I have one. I still think it hasn't really gone up too much. Spider-Man 194, I think, still a good, pretty cheap still. You can find raw copies very cheap.
Yep, and it's a good book. It's a good looking book too.
It's a good book. It's a first appearance of a major character coming to a theater soon.
Yep.
I think casting is going to be a huge deal for Black Cat and for Silver Sable. Honestly, either one.
But I think 194 is still, even if the movie is bad, is still going to be a good long-term hold.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it like tanking, absolutely tanking. It's not like it'd be like Catwoman or something, or just like So.
Yeah, thanks, Halle Berry.
I know.
Yeah, that was.
I don't know. I don't know who they would actually cast for Black Cat. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen like a list of who they're even considering.
I haven't seen anything.
What's that going to come out? 2018 or 2019?
I think next fall, I think fall of 18.
They're actually I saw on I think it was Screen Rant or something, but they're casting right now. They're trying to. So very soon, he said. So who was this? Oh, Gina. Yeah, Gina Prince. Hopes that she can work on the casting process for the film sometime soon, with the goals of beginning principal photography on it later this fall. So.
Oh wow.
So,
so we'll probably get an announcement next month or two.
Yeah, probably.
Very critical stage.
It is. It's huge. Like, everybody knows like how when it goes bad, it can go bad very quickly.
Yep.
So I don't know, and it's tough too. I mean, it's like it's like it could be any girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't one where it's like it has to go on looks. Like Wolverine's so iconic. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the issue though: is they've got a young Spider-Man. So do they need a young Black Cat? Because their relationship is always inappropriate.
But they're not going to cross streams.
I thought I'm seeing that they're talking that they are eventually.
There's a new article out today saying that they weren't.
Oh, so it's been bullshit for a while?
Basically. Well, yeah. Well, Feige just came out and said that they're not in the same universe.
Even though the producer said they were.
Yeah, he said that was wrong.
No, they're full of shit either way.
He didn't say he also said that Spider-Man. He said that he would not say that Spider-Man would never be in Venom's movies, but he didn't sound like it was going to happen anytime soon. So we'll see what that means. It could just all be bullshit.
Yeah, that really worries me when I think of them having or trying to even explain where Venom came from and Spider-Man's nowhere.
How do you do the origin of Venom without fucking Spider-Man?
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
unless they just skip it. They just don't even fucking skip it.
Yeah, they might.
That's tough.
Or maybe they just allude it and have like some kind of maybe flashback kind of thing. I don't know, or something. Or
I guess they have the rights to Spider-Man. They just don't have to really show it. They can show that there was a Spider-Man.
Like have the suit up there or something. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, they could just have a guy in a suit and show that,
Or you know what? They could just be banking on that Venom is going to be badass and people want to see him.
Cut some scenes in from fucking the last one just to show that there was a Spider-Man in a costume and that
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
Just throw Tobey Maguire out there, man. It's fine.
It's not. Right. It wouldn't be Tobey because they fucked that one up. But I mean, like I said, they don't need a Spider-Man story to do Venom, but they need to say that Spider-Man exists.
Yeah. I think they're going to do that, but they're not going to have like Venom isn't going to be in the Marvel universe.
So, Tony was saying in the chat that to you, Scotty, thinks the Zatanna DC Superstars fits right in.
Oh yeah, it's a good book. I think that's probably one of her first covers or an early cover.
First cover is a bullshit book.
Is it?
It's like Adam 9. It's a little face cameo cover though. It's like a circle cover.
Oh, okay. And this one has her front and center.
I think we had some other good ones on that list. We had
We have some ones that are Paul picks, but yeah.
I think that
Turtles 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. No, my pick was Flash. I don't know.
I think you're bonkers on that, and that Flash is so exposed now from TV. Like, he is the show that everybody watches. That it's not that people don't know Flash.
Yeah, I can see him making a Flash movie more than an Arrow movie, though.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't think there's any more value to be made. Those Flash keys have already jumped, and
they're pretty high right now.
He's going to be in a movie instead of a TV show.
I don't know. We'll see. I think it depends how they do, how much they give him on Justice League.
But I think is they've done the Flash show so good, whether or not the movie is good or bad, I just don't think it's going to move the needle. Like, there's so many Flash fans now.
Yeah,
you're not going to bring more.
I agree, because I'm trying to get some of the Flash keys, and I'm waiting for them to come down a little bit.
I think there's a better chance the movie fucks it up.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Z. Like, they've already had their bump. Like, you're not going to get if the movie's good, then the books will probably see a steady appreciation over time. You're not going to see a huge bump, but it could drop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those, like 105 is crazy right now, how much it's going for.
Is that Wonder Woman 105 we're talking about?
No, Flash 105.
Oh, Flash 105.
Yeah, the basically Flash #1. Basically, that was the first Silver Age issue.
Yeah, and I used to collect a lot of Flash too. Like I don't see a lot of 117s go up. I don't see Flash is tough, man. It's like a lot of people.
Every time we're at a con, what do people ask for? Do you have Flash? Do you have Flash?
Oh.
Those early Flash books aren't easy to get. A lot of them were like late 50s, early 60s.
People are buying up the dollar bin Flashes too, though. I mean, that just goes.
Yeah, Flash 117 was the first book I ever bought on a Craigslist deal, like a crazy Craigslist deal I did. It's phenomenal, dude. It's like it's harder and harder to find. Like being a Flash guy, like obviously you want like an all Flash one, like quarterly or something like that, but that's bananas. But yeah, I mean Flash. Everybody's always asking for Flash stuff, man.
Actually, that Flash quarterly hasn't really done well lately.
Yeah.
Compared to the Silver Age stuff.
Yeah, it's not. I saw one sit at a half price books for 2 years.
There was one on eBay. I think it was like a 4 or 5 or something. It was like $2,000 and it didn't sell.
I think that one finally moved, Stein. You've seen it too, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
They had it a little overpriced, but I mean, even when they had run sales, that book just sat. No, it's not getting the heat that.
Yeah, the Silver Age stuff is going bonkers.
Yeah, because all Flash #1 right now at CGC 4.0s. I mean, it's a high price, but it's like $29.05 right now for a 4.0 blue label, which is interesting.
Yeah, what year was that? 40s?
41.
Yeah, because it's not the same Flash, really.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not Barry. People want Barry.
Yep.
We had She-Hulk up there. Just
She-Hulk #1.
Yeah, Z was saying it's just climbing for no reason when we were talking about it earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an anticipation climb. Like people buying it up because they're anticipating and probably just closing the supply out a little.
I mean, we had the single biggest load I think anybody. I mean, we had
23 of them. I think
23 or it's crazy.
Yeah, that picture was crazy. How many of you guys have left?
One.
One?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
we sold like 15
sells.
of them to a guy in Indy.
We had I think this was a Trey spec, but Thor 337.
I like that one too.
I thought World War II was happening out. My World War III was happening outside my house. I think somebody's lighting off fireworks, but it is Detroit, so I don't know if that's gunfire or fireworks going on right now.
RoboCop's loose.
Yeah, dude. Well, I was muted. I was muted there for a minute. I almost screamed like a little girl. Like I had all the lights out, and the biggest fucking bug came across my screen. I'm like, oh fuck.
I could have.
Man, that's not how the diesel acts, man.
Yeah, I would have edited that out for you.
Oh, dude, it was like the biggest. Like it looked like a beetle thing. I was like, what the fuck is that thing? But it's all dead now. I killed it.
I don't know. I still debate some of the Titans books have a chance, but I mean that's so far off. them doing it right. I mean, they've got a TV show, but I don't put any faith in that because it's going to be on a network. Who knows how many watches?
And we're talking about what's the next big book's going to be, probably.
Yeah.
Dude. I don't, because I kind of jumped on, because I don't know if I was being smart, because when I first got in, I got the list of like, all the first appearances and stuff, and I didn't go after like the ones that everybody else was going after. I went after like everybody knows like Aquaman, Z knows like Aquaman, Doctor Strange. What else did I go after? And this was before anything was announced. Like I was like, I'm just gonna go after stuff that nobody's thinking about right now, like Aquaman, Doctor Strange.
So have the
Flash.
Aquaman.
Yep. Flash, the Flash stuff. Let me look at this list. Let me see. Hold on one second. Let me see what I can pull up here. I don't know. It's tough. I usually go off lists to like
Well, it's just the stuff like the ASM makes you feel dumb. Like we thought we know what we were talking about, and then that shit happens. You're like, man, we aren't that smart sometimes.
Well, I mean, honestly,
except Scott.
But here's the thing, man. Honestly, like I didn't see this boom coming. Like I was buying these books with the anticipation of selling them 5-10 years down the road.
Well, I mean, I could see. I could see a bump for 10-25%, not double.
No, and that's why like I'm at a point right now where like I plan and sell these now because I'm not taking a chance that they're going to go back down.
Well, would you buy them back up again
if they came back down?
Yeah. Because that's your favorite book, right?
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite. Yeah.
And like I think like I'm just looking at this list and I'm just free balling at the end at the end of the day on this, but maybe it's a Crisis on Infinite Earth stuff, just stuff that's like I don't know, like, and it's high grade stuff. I'm not saying like every book, obviously.
I just saw 9.8 for number 8 go for didn't even sell for $100.
Maybe
that book it surprises me that it hasn't went up.
I'm just looking.
I had one in my hand at a comic book store. It was like $15. And I was just like, I'm not gonna buy it. I put it back.
What do you think about? What do you think about like First Power Girl?
58
All-Star.
Yeah, All-Star comics.
I think it's lacking the cover, and that's its problem.
Yeah, it is a pretty weird cover. There's a lot going on in that cover.
But I mean, as far as first appearances, they're probably undervalued.
It's pretty cheap. Definitely get copies pretty cheap.
Yeah, I won't argue it. It's one of those that's going to have a hard time. People don't post it because they're like, it's the most awesome book ever.
Maybe Marvel Spotlight 32, Spider-Woman. Maybe that goes into the Venom thing. Maybe
it's got a shot. Could be some of the Justice League dark shit, but I don't know. That one feels like it's been going for so long that like I don't even want to buy it because I've had them and sold them so many times.
Yeah, I'm done with the Justice League Dark.
I kind of want a Constantine, Swamp Thing 37 9.8, but that's more just I kind of want one, but I refuse to pay for it.
Mm-hmm. You know what it is? Maybe Z. Maybe man, I don't know. Like I had a Metalman, and I bought a Showcase 37 before Metalman, like the movie was like supposed to come out. Maybe, and I kind of regret selling it, but I gave it to I think I gave it to I gave it to one of the guys in the group. I can't remember. I think I gave it to Den or Solomon. I think I gave it to him, but maybe that's one. I don't know. I haven't checked on prices on that in a while either.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just had. I think some of them is we're gonna have to circle back to maybe some of these spec picks that have died, and come back down. Maybe people lose interest in them, and because that's probably the only thing where the pickings are going to be anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
So many of these books have had slow growth, but you just don't know what's natural slow growth versus too stable for its own good. Like the one on our list here somewhere, the Crow one, which is a personal favorite of mine. That one is, it's not, other than 9.8s have went up a bit in the past couple of years from about a 600 to about 1,000. all the other grades have not really jumped significantly in the last few years.
And the other thing too is like you look through all these lists and it's like, man, like half this stuff's already been done and gone, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
But so it's Spider-Man. I mean, maybe we just need to reassess and start over. Maybe there's twice as many people in this market than there were the first time around. I don't know.
Well, John, when we were talking about it, John Brown was saying, you know, I think it was him, like a new wave of people learning. So it's just, you never know what's going to happen.
I love when Paul moves his highlighter of the outline.
I had a little section for Netflix, but I think the only thing really worth mentioning is Castlevania Season 1. The Netflix original anime is coming out on July 7th.
that could be badass. I love Castlevania games.
Yeah, that was a sweet ass game.
Yeah.
I'm kind of.
Do they still make Castlevania games?
Yep.
Yeah,
I think anime is kind of a good format because I wouldn't want it live action because that's a vampire movie.
Yeah, you couldn't do that. You couldn't do live action, but that's okay.
That dog is gonna get beat.
You know what? Maybe we just. Well, I'm gonna buy you some pills. You can feed it some pills.
I knew where the zapper was, and now she's fucking. She hit it. I think. Like I knew where it was, and now it's gone.
She's really quiet for Unpressables, though, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's because usually I'm not here.
Oh, I mean that's what you say.
Well, that and they start at 11 o'clock, and the dog's usually fucking asleep. At 9 o'clock, people are awake.
The pills kick in by then.
No, it's the kids.
I
wonder if there's a coyote in the yard. Oh, wait, that's Jimmy.
There's a new Batman and Harley Quinn movie coming out, and it's getting a one-night release for theaters for the, I think it's Fathom events.
Yep.
It's an original story from Bruce Timm, and then he was also the executive producer he's the executive producer for the film, and then it's directed by Sam Liu, or however you pronounce it, but he also directed the animated Killing Joke, so hopefully it's better than the Killing Joke, at least the beginning. But it's an original story. The summary is that Batman and Nightwing are forced to team up with the Joker's sometimes girlfriend Harley Quinn to stop a global threat brought out by Poison Ivy and Jason Woodrue, the Floronic Man. So,
and I'm going to add to that is that Kevin Conroy is going to do Batman Bruce Wayne. So.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. Now, is this a new? You said a new story, but is this like a he just wrote this, or is this like a story he had like 15 years ago and
I don't know,
just never published it?
It said the film is an original story from Bruce Timm, so I made it sound like it's not a comic adaptation.
I love Bruce Timm.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I keep seeing some of his sketchbooks and thinking, man, I should buy one of them.
For Bruce Timm?
He's just got some unique shit.
Tony was saying All-Star 59 was creeping up too.
Yeah. Some guy asked me about Power Girl at IndieCon, and he never came back. So
I mean, if it had a better cover, that book would be fucking through the roof.
Yeah, you put Hughes drawing her with the big tits hanging out.
Well, it's kind of like Zatanna and Hawkman 4. That book would probably be worth twice what it is.
Yeah, except Hawkman's on the cover.
It's an okay cover.
But it's Hawkman.
Hey, don't tell Tony that.
That was like one of my first big scores. I bought a Hawkman lot. I actually got it after I got my actual best score. I was auctioning I won a Punisher first appearance and Giant Size X-Men one. They both ended up mid-9s.
Wow.
I had met this guy and he said, I got some Hawkman shit. And I'm like, all right, I'll go take a look. And it was, 1 to 20. And I bought it and I'm like, all right.
That's awesome.
What'd that cost you?
It's like $200.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Hey, which
years ago.
kind of makes me ask a weird question. I mean, I hear people buying these collections and stuff. Where do you guys find these people that are even selling these collections?
I mean, it's few and far between for me. I mean, I've only bought maybe 3 or 4 collections from individuals, and they've not been big ones. We're talking a couple boxes here or there, and it's more dumb luck or stumbling upon somebody that knows somebody.
That's what I did too.
I bought some at auctions that helped, or Dino sends me a Craigslist ad that nobody's responded to yet. That's about it.
Well, I mean, that's how I did. So, I mean, the one that we're going to, Benny, is I mean, that was just dumb luck. I bought an ASM 361 from him, and I just got talking to the guy, and he's like, "Yeah, come on down." So, I mean, it was just by accident. Like I would never have hit that dude up in a million years. So. I did. I guess I'll spoil it too. I did buy 2 Tech 850s from him for like super cheap too. So
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that book's not that book's been debunked.
Oh, sorry. Then I just wasted a lot of them. At least I didn't waste as much money as I should have. So.
You're supposed to, Dino. You're supposed to come up with your own opinion, so you're not supposed to listen to those guys.
Okay. I won't.
What's next, Paul?
I was going to ask if you guys know anybody going to San Diego Comic-Con.
I think we do. Just Sean, right?
Just Sean.
I think Jimmy goes. Jim Bagley.
Oh, yeah. Well, the California boy.
Well,
I think Devo's
sometimes
going
he goes.
I think Devo's going.
Yeah.
You think Tim's going?
Well, hopefully Matt can go. He can do some. We can get a live report from him.
I think Tim will go just to buy a fucking wall and a half.
I don't think Tim will go.
Tim doesn't like that many people.
No.
Those aren't Tim prices.
Yeah.
Tim may strap a camera on somebody else and maybe go virtually.
Yeah.
That would be funny. I could see Tim doing that. Like, and he's just like got like a little walkie-talkie. He's like, buy that.
Yeah, grab that.
You probably need to be like you, Dino. You need somebody that can haggle.
Oh Jesus! You know what's funny is like I've been struggling about going to San Diego. I just like me. I hate the crowds, dude. I couldn't deal with the way
I couldn't deal with it either.
I mean, Motor
I thought about going a few years ago, and it just sounds miserable now.
Yeah, I mean, Motor City's bad. If you ever been to Motor City, it's like Saturday is the worst day ever because it's like there's like I get there like 9 o'clock when it opens or 10 o'clock, and by like noon, 1 o'clock, you can't even walk. You can't even move. It's like, and you got people who like, yeah. The thing that pisses me off, it's like you sit there and like people standing in the middle of the aisleway just like talking to somebody. It's like, dude.
Or like Trey says, the people with the carts and the
swords and whatnot.
Buggies.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Oh yeah, the guys with the here's my short box of things on my cart and I got
my hand truck.
Well, I tell you what, the most crowded I've been was a con that was a first year. I mean, it was a small one in a small venue, but the aisles were only like 4 feet instead of like maybe they were 5 feet, but they weren't, like IndieCon's got like 15-foot aisles because the first year they fucked up.
Yeah.
But this place, I think whatever those should be, maybe it's 6, and you had one line going one way, one going the other, and they just couldn't move. Like as soon as anybody stopped, I spent 8 hours crowded in my booth. It was miserable. And just being a consumer, like they didn't even want to stop because they didn't want to get out of their line.
Back to the end of the line.
Oh, I mean, God, I couldn't imagine San Diego because you couldn't get anywhere you want to go.
No.
Well,
it reminds me of like Black Friday. Like they open the door and everybody's fighting.
And it sounds like a great idea, and it's terrible once you get there.
And you know what's even going to be worse? There's the Funko lines.
God.
It's not even the comic stuff.
But all those action figures and shit go up.
Yeah, it's I was talking to Matt about it, and it's a big cash grab show. He was saying, people buy tickets just to get the exclusives and cash in on those. And there's so many exclusives too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I have.
But I
almost
feel like it's get more miserable because there's so many people chasing them now. Like a couple years ago, you could find some under the radar exclusive. Now, I would bet every line is hours deep, and you just spend your day in line.
Well, the first thing I had was like, how do you get the exclusives then? So there are two ways. You can either pre-order, and some companies don't ship, so you pre-order it and you have to pick it up at their booth. But other companies, you can pre-order and they'll ship it to your house, but they won't ship obviously until San Diego Comic-Con, and then they only release. Some of them do
a limited number.
Yeah, limited number, and it's if we're going to release 250, then we'll release 50 a day at X o'clock or whatever. But I just did a short list of them. NECA has a turtle exclusive that's $200 for the box set, which comes.
Let's start with the turtles, of course.
Of course, yeah.
$200 is the retail price.
Yeah, retail price.
Wow. Jesus Christ!
What size are these?
7. I think they're 6 or 7 inches.
Okay.
But I mean, you get all 4 turtles, Shredder, Krang.
NECA makes some good stuff, man.
Yeah, 2 foot soldiers and then a bunch of accessories. It was doing pretty well, and then undercutters are killing it. But NECA's shipping them. I don't think they shipped them last year. I can't remember, but so they were doing a limited pre-order every weekday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon until they sold out. I don't know how many they were selling out or how many they were releasing, but I think the first day they sold out in under 2 minutes. The second day they sold out in under a minute. But
what's the packaging look like?
It's actually pretty sweet. It's like a old school carrying case.
Okay.
That latches shut and has some cool artwork on the outside. So I think it's worth the $200 for what you get. And I think it's limited to 5,000, maybe. Can't remember.
So you get 4, 5, 6, 8 figures in there. So it's not bad.
It's about $25 a figure and accessories.
That's pretty standard.
Did you buy one, Paul?
Yeah, I actually bought 2 because I was gonna flip one, but then all these undercutters just came out of nowhere. So I think I'm gonna cancel half my order.
The pump and dump Mel V.
Yeah, didn't survive the Mel
Pump and dump.
I might cancel my whole order and just wait till it goes down. I emailed NECA and they said they can't cancel part of my order.
You know what's gonna happen, Paul? You're gonna cancel it and it's gonna double in price.
It will.
That's like my thing.
And then we're gonna hear about this in a few weeks on Paul's problems.
My thing too is on this stuff is like I hate this stuff because it's like I feel like I'd get like the turtle thing and it would just tank on me. I don't know. It's just like I don't do well on this shit.
Well, you know what? You got to buy what you like.
Yeah, that's true.
So well, no matter what, you got something you like.
It already double backfired because first it's being undercut, and then the same day where I was like, well, I want to buy what I want, so I spent $400 on turtle toys, but with the intention to flip one was the day that the ASM news broke, so I could have spent $400 on 9/8 Spider-Mans, cashed those in, and then bought turtle toys, and still had money in my pocket. So it's the way my life goes. But NECA also has a Predator 30th anniversary Dutch action figure for Arnold, which doesn't look too bad.
Their Predator Aliens figures are really cool.
Yeah, I have some. Yeah, they're awesome.
I love the art. Like some of them have like the 8-bit like art on them. Have you seen them?
Yeah, I have somewhere around here. I have the Rambo one.
Okay, yeah, the Rambos. Those are cool too.
The list I have for Funko is a little long, but I think the big ones. There's a Princess Leia and R2-D2 twin pack for Funko, which I think is going to be a huge flip.
Is that limited?
Yeah, they're all SDCC exclusives.
So what do they usually do? Like 450 or 500?
I don't know. I'd have to look. I don't know if it says. Some of them say in the packaging, limited to X number. I'd have to look.
They probably have different tiers for some.
Yeah, the list was really long for Funko, but I just pulled out a few. There's a Tony Stark one that looks kind of cool, where he's holding. He's in his suit and he's holding the Iron Man helmet. There's a selfie Gwenpool, which I'm not interested in, but I think it has some flip potential. There's a Tick for Z.
God damn it, Paul. Behind fucking Funko.
You will
He's
now.
going to be on the Pops.
Listen, it's already on my goddamn. I'm looking on eBay, and I was curious what they're selling for. I'm like, I can't spend that much money, but damn it.
How much?
Pre-sale looks to be about 65 to 90.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm not paying that much for that shit.
For a $10 piece of plastic. Not even.
It is interesting. I've seen like I said, I've been following the Funko pages just to watch the conversation, and I've seen some people get out, and then I've seen other people, arguing. People keep calling it Beanie Babies, and they get pissed off. And like, Beanie Babies hit, and they didn't have property rights and things like that. They were just fucking animals, and they went from zero to nothing fast. And Funko's been building for years. But it's still, like you said, a $10 piece of plastic, so I don't know.
I know Funko has every damn license, so they're going to be. I think they're going to be fine for a while.
They probably, and why should we argue? We fucking collect newsprint, so I don't know that we can throw stones.
No, we definitely can throw
stones.
We
CGC slab houses.
Yes, slab.
I mean,
houses.
I'll tell you what, Pops are probably growing faster than comic books.
No, I find myself looking at them when I'm out, but I already know there's so many people looking at them that there's never any.
I mean, you could find them in any. You go out to the drugstore or the almost every store has them in them.
There's a bunch of different Batman ones. There's a pretty cool Suicide Squad Joker variant. They look pretty neat. I know Mel mentioned the Skybound exclusive for the G.I. Joe classic throwback packaging for, they call it Shiva Force, and it's Rick, Michonne, Ezekiel, and Shiva. But those are they're limited to 1,000 and they're $100, but I think they're already being undercut. They were 150 when I was looking at them, but I don't know. I don't know if they'd be a long-term hold. I don't think any of them are. I think only the Funko are the long-term hold, depending on which one you buy, because people, completists, and from my limited experience, the Funkos will be initially expensive, and then they'll drop, and they take about a year to appreciate back to where their initial hype was, and then they just keep climbing from there. Then Mezco had one that I didn't. Yeah. I didn't know you didn't know about that, Scott. Sorry, I should have sent you.
No, I did know about it.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
Yeah, I ordered two.
They have a.
They had them on their website.
It's a pretty sweet X-Men Deadpool.
It's the X-Force Deadpool.
Oh, okay.
The blue and yellow.
Yeah. Is this the one you talked about months ago, or just a different
one? No, this is a different one. The one I talked about months ago is just the regular Deadpool. This is like him in a blue and yellow suit.
How did that one do? The original one?
It hasn't released yet.
Oh,
but it's sold out.
I do wish I had bought that Shazam, with links, but oh well.
For you, or because it's doing well?
No, it's a pretty cool piece.
I mean, those figures are probably the best out there right now.
Yeah, that Deadpool I didn't know about till I saw it, and that kind of really caught my eye. It's a nice piece. They were the sale price was $80, but they're selling on eBay for $150 last I checked. Did you add that side note, or was
that was something else. I just wanted to put it in that Mezco did the 112. They had a Batman Nightmare exclusive. From the Nightmare scene in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah,
they were going to do an exclusive, and they had it in there, but they just canceled it.
So they're not going to make the toy at all, or what's the story?
They're not making it at all.
I wonder if there's some. I mean, there's got to be not comp copies, but
there's a prototype.
Yeah, like prototype.
Yeah, they made a prototype, and they just said that they decided not to go to production with it.
So that's on somebody's desk.
Yeah, I mean, you might eventually see one or two out there.
What about for other toys where they cancel it, but they've obviously have a prototype of some sort. Have you ever looked into that market? Do they pop up every now and then, or is it just?
I think that's a Matt D question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I don't.
Go ahead.
One of the most valuable fucking Matchbox cars is a prototype that didn't make it to market.
Go on.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I just was watching some Antique Roadshow or some shit, and it's I think it's for 300,000, some ridiculous number. It's a
what?
It's a Volkswagen bus, but they had a surfboard in it, and where they had originally designed the surfboard to be wasn't stable or something, so they moved it. But the prototypes that got out, there was maybe 5 or 10 of them, and they're worth crazy money.
$125,000 from, this is a 2011 article, Volkswagen Beach Bomb. I just Googled rare Hot Wheels surfboard van.
Yeah, I think I've seen one a little more recent, and it was maybe $250,000.
Looks like it was 1969 is when it came out, I think. But I think Hot Wheels was a suggested topic from back when.
Well, it's also like the Boba Fett that shot the rocket.
Mm-hmm.
It was a prototype that didn't make it.
Where are Hot Wheels produced?
Wow, they're now probably China, but
Well, no, I mean back then, because usually you think that if it was like a prototype that.
I see what you're saying.
The one I saw was a kid of somebody from the factory.
That's the holy grail of Hot Wheel cars. The I'll send. Here's a picture of it all. 1969. What does it say? The 1969 VW Beach Bomber. Yeah.
Oh, that is pink.
Yeah, there's a clip for Pawn Stars. I guess the title kind of gives it away. I guess they offered him $70,000 installed or something. Anywho, so San Diego is July 20th through the 23rd. But yeah, it's a big cash grab. Last year they had a pretty cool Spock car exclusive that I didn't buy, and I might dole the cash out for that. It's a pretty cool little piece with a nice display case.
People are crazy for Hot Wheels, man.
Yeah.
It's the amount of craziness. I mean, the details is just crazy when it comes to Hot Wheels, like scuffs or like door. There's something crazy. They just, yeah.
My nephew bought me a Hot Wheels a few weeks ago, and the card on the back is the cover for the Batman 608, the second print, which I thought was pretty cool.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that cover. That book's starting to creep up too.
Which one?
608 second print.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Hello. This is Dr. Fraser Crane.
Hello.
I'm listening.
I'll do a little Paul's Problems segment here, followed up by maybe another segment. But little quick story from the notebook. Story is titled Shampoo Transfer. And I don't know if it was too early in the morning or too late at night. I was just not thinking. But I had a bottle of shampoo in the shower that was getting low. So I put a new one next to it. They both had screw pump top things on them. But the new one had a slightly different one. I don't know if it was name brand versus store brand or whatever, but they weren't compatible. So I finally got to the end of the first one, and I was in the shower, and rather than just throw the empty one away, for some dumb reason, I decided to take the lid off of both of them. At first, I think I tried to switch the pumps. I don't know why. And they weren't compatible. So then I tried to pour the full bottle of shampoo into the empty bottle of shampoo. And I was about halfway through before I realized, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this? And it was just, I mean, half of it went down the drain. It's just a fucking disaster. It was just Paul's Problems, man. Just trying to do simple shit the hard way.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. Not that day.
Oh, Paul.
At least I didn't slip and fall at the same time.
Yeah.
Fucking Curly strikes again on the Raz.
Oh, did something else go through?
What do you win?
Saga.
Ah.
God damn it, that was the other one I was waiting on.
I don't usually play in them, but I broke down Bandit too, just because they were there.
You donated some money.
Yeah, I donated some money.
What are they
Yeah,
waiting
that's-
on for the Losh to be run?
I don't know. It's been a long time.
I didn't enter it. I was just wanting to see who won.
That was the slowest Losh fill I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It went maybe 12 hours.
I think people are saving their money.
Well, even Sean was saying it's just a slow time of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, but
People
that
are
book-
going on
that
vacation and shit.
That was a good price on that book.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
I
It
don't
was
know.
a 9.6 for CBCS 9.6 for $475.
So I don't want to steal your thunder, but I don't usually have pulse problems. But my wife was telling me a story yesterday, the day before. So she came home from work. She's like, she works in training kids in computer science and training teachers to teach it better. That's her gig. And she said she was doing a lesson plan to help teach the teachers and running through it and practicing it. And one of the things was Google your name. So she Googles her
Oh,
name.
no. Oh, no. You don't want to do that.
And the first thing was her. And she said the next 15 to 20 things were comics. And no, the funny thing is, because anybody that's bought from me, sold from me, knows in the group is my
Yeah.
PayPal is tied to hers. So she's like, motherfucker, my name is on here all over comics. God damn it, I'm gonna kill him. She's like dying inside because this is not her. She goes back and looks and realizes she didn't put quotes in her name, so just put her name and it was picking up all of the Patrick Zurcher listings. Because even if I could Google my name, not thinking about it, he's the Zurcher that has any kind of fame. Is the one that did several Batmans and a lot of Valiant covers and stuff. So she's like, she was going to come home and beat me before she realized she hadn't quoted her name. And thankfully, her name is not sullied with comic nonsense.
I didn't know you had to put quotes in your name when you Google it.
Well,
So
it
those-
searches for that specific title instead of like a combination of those two.
Yeah,
Correct.
it could find a step. It could find a first name and the last name in two different parts of the article or two.
Correct.
I put mine
And it
in
just
quotes.
uses it.
I just put mine in quotes, and the first thing that comes up is an obituary.
Not good, Paul.
Days of Future Paul.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe I'll just come back in time and fill out this notebook of problems, and then come back. You just read from this.
Oh shit.
Scott, were you gonna start a little something, or are you gonna skip it?
Yeah, we could start. Going to start a new segment called Reagan's Rants.
Oh, I look forward to
yeah.
this.
Yeah. Being a Razmod, we get asked a lot of questions about prices on books and stuff, and something that comes up frequently is somebody will say, hey, this book sold for this much, and then I check GPA and it doesn't match, so then I have to check the eBay listing to see what they're looking at, and it's always a best offer. So I just wanted to let people know that sometimes when you see best offer in the sold listings and the price, it doesn't mean it's sold for that price. There is an easy way to check. You go to watchcount.com and you put the item number in there and search, and it'll tell you exactly what the price was, because if it's a best offer listing, they most likely accept it a lower price. And that would greatly speed up the process.
Is it a free service?
Yes. Yes, it's 100% free.
That's funny. A person that used to post a lot in our group a few years ago with screenshots of eBay would post best offers and not know that was the case.
Yeah, and I think everybody needs to know. Like, honestly, GPA is probably or Go Collect is probably the better option because it'll show you that price, without you having to like even think about it. But like I said,
And if you're looking raws, you just better fucking know your shit.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, raws are tough to buy on eBay because, does the person know how to ship? Is it graded properly? Can you see all the defects in the pictures? I mean, there's so many. Is it going to arrive safely?
And is it graded right? The one you're looking at could be called a very good, and it's really good, and the price reflects that.
Yep.
Just how about this? For raws, just send them to Dino, and then I will give you a very good value, and then I'll buy it from you. How about that?
So that's just my first rant.
Your rants are not as good as a Ben C rant.
No, I'm starting off slow. This one, because this is what came to, because I had like 3 requests this week, not even this week, like this weekend, and all of them were the same type of thing where it's like, oh, this one sold for this much, and I was like, no, it didn't.
I tell you what, my requests after Razmageddon are so far below average. I was getting 3 a day most days, and now
yeah, it's slowed down.
I get a couple requests a week, but it's not crazy like it was.
Do you guys see this was kind of shared here and there, but the lot of 26 Knicks number 3s.
Yeah. Yep. Oh my God.
Near mint high grade, yada yada, sold for $10,500. I was just thinking, as far as a rant, I think that guy was throwing money away because eBay takes 13% no matter what you're.
No, that's not true.
No?
They cap it after a
limit?
certain amount. Yeah.
Well, that's good, but even then, I would at least.
What's the cap?
Dino, what did that guy say? It was like 250.
Yeah.
We were talking to a guy at Indy, and he said the cap is like 250.
Yeah, it's 250.
Well, that's good to know. But
so if you ever actually sell a book that big,
yeah, right. That'll be the day.
How big is that book? How big a book does that have to be? 2,500.
2,500, yeah.
And before, I guess, let me look this up just so we're not getting false information on it.
I just think that was a stupid.
I don't think
move
I've ever hit the cap.
If you had
I think my biggest has been like 2K. I'm just trying
26 copies of such a hot book.
$400 a pop.
I mean,
that's not bad for raw books, though.
Yeah, but I was just thinking.
You don't know what they actually look like.
He might know they're not 9/8. I mean, he just says high grade.
Yeah, maybe he did pre-screen them for 9/8, but I would send at least.
I mean, I'll tell you what, though, for the amount of work he has to do, just pack them up, ship them off, take your 10 grand, and you're done with it. Like, he probably got these in like a box of shit that he bought in a storage unit or something.
God only knows.
Or somebody walked in with like a long box that said, "Give me $20 for this."
Yeah, $250 per item. So
it's an interesting way to list them like that.
I mean,
he could have definitely got more money selling them singly, but it's a lot more work. And then he wouldn't have.
Sure. I mean, what's a raw near mint go?
I don't think it goes for higher than that.
So really, I mean, he could have graded them, but that's waiting money. And
I mean, honestly, with the cap, it's probably better off listing them like this because.
No, I don't think he did. I don't think it was dumb.
What is it like? What the fees would have been like? Let's say he squeezed it out and did one a piece and got 15 grand. He would have paid 1,500 in fees.
Yeah, the fee thing. Makes sense, but I would have.
Yeah.
The only way to make more money was trading, but
that's a lot of risk.
Do that?
Risk and time.
And again, who doesn't say that he doesn't have 30 of them and only 26 of them were only not 9/8? Who knows? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Very good point, Dino.
We could have a whole nother lot of 26.
This is the 9/6 and below lot.
That's the only points I make. Z is good ones. So.
Let me ask a random question on something like that. Okay, so let's say so he said some of them were high grade, some of them were not.
Yep.
So the buyer, let's say they actually do want to make a return. They get them all and they're all 9.0 or less. Does he? I mean, basically, if that money's transferred, if he just went and just withdrew that $10,000 from his PayPal account, and eBay said, "Oh, we're going to shut your account down," he could be like, "I don't care. Shut my account down. I just got 10 grand. I don't care."
I think
How
I
long
would
is
assume
the
with that
return
much
period
money that there'd be a little bit of time delay.
I don't think if you've got the right rating, there isn't.
I don't think there'd be time
It's
to wait
all,
for
how
us.
long have you been there? That goes back to my theory on these zombie account fucking things where people fucking steal an active eBay and PayPal that maybe went dead but has enough feedback to be not capped. Because if you start a new one, you got to do 26 transactions to get your cash. But if you find one that's got enough feedback and enough currentness but maybe isn't really active, you can probably pull your money out.
Yeah, I don't know how those the fake ghost counts in China do it. How they get their money and just.
Well, China's a whole other problem.
No, it's on eBay though. They have their eBay account and then they list a bunch of cool stuff for cheap and that never ships. And
Yeah, they got me.
I mean, they do it just like WoW does it when you're like trying to hunt for fucking gold out there, like gold farmers and stuff. It's just the same thing, They just put in a shell account, so they go to like a bank, they open up a new account, right? And then they get a new thing, and then basically try to, wait the 4 days for it to clear, and then you're good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, in China, you can bullshit enough people on the shipping delays that you can get your PayPal limit of 10 days they hold it, or 8 days or some bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah.
They say, oh, it's stuck in customs.
But if you got feedback, I mean, you can get your money out whenever.
Yeah, I got scammed a couple times. I always just ordered it, figuring it would never ship.
Yeah, but you get your money back, right?
Yeah, I called eBay and it was just the money's tied up though. I mean, it's not.
Stop buying bootleg toys, Paul.
Yeah,
those turtle toys shipped.
If you're gonna buy bootleg toys, buy them from Mel.
They were damn good bootleg toys.
And I wonder, actually, what's funny as I think about that? How much money do you think eBay has floating around that, with all these like, ghost accounts and people like getting screwed? I don't know how much a month do they do in like returns like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
eBay makes so much money that they can.
I know that. I know that.
Lose.
Yeah,
they're printing money over there.
How many comics sell multiple times that they've made 10% on?
Yeah.
I would love to track a book like
ASM 300. They've made
track one,
probably millions.
Track a copy with a CGC number. Somebody do this, and I bet it sold 8 times in 8 years, and they've made $110 on each one.
No, you know what we need to do is have Robertson go through GPA because it puts the serial numbers in.
Oh, God.
Make a bot and see if we can find patterns.
But I mean, how many of these books that we buy have been bought once, sold once, and we've sold it, and somebody else sells it again?
Is that one of the reasons people cover up the certification number?
I think
Linguini said that was due to the registry.
Yeah, people take that registry very seriously. So like people put those serial numbers in, acting like they have the book. And I guess it's like a prestige thing or something.
It's a competition. Like there's different things. Like
yeah, so it's just you just plug in the numbers, and according to this registry, you have that book.
Yes.
Well, that's dumb.
I mean, there's some asshole with the highest graded Turtles run. He's got 9/8 and up to this, and there's some asshole with other runs, and they steal the number to make their run complete.
Yeah, Skype.
They definitely have rankings and stuff.
I mean, basically, anybody who collects turtle shit is just asshole. So that's what it's.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, everybody likes a pickup post. I think that's why I got in the group, was just for somebody to appreciate that I got something cool, because my wife looks at me like, "Fuck you, I don't." But the registry sometimes takes it to a point of craziness.
Yeah. If it can be totally faked. I mean, a pickup post can be fake too, but I don't know. Whatever.
I've noticed even the CBSI pickup the YouTube page. We don't like to be the stars of the show. We let the books be the stars. I don't see a single person that shows their face. They just show the books and talk about them. You go on Facebook, and it's calmed down a bit, but there was probably 6 months when live went on that everybody wanted to be the star of their pickup videos.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one guy that keeps popping up, and I just can't watch it. the live auctions, and that's a whole different beast.
And the raffles.
Yeah, we've covered that a couple times, but it's just
the overpriced.
Yeah. The friends and family, you're getting the money, friends and family, and then on top of that, you're selling the book for GPA plus 20% plus shipping. It's, I don't know.
But they let people pick their spots.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about picking your spots. I think
I'd rather not pick my spot.
Yeah. I don't know. The price thing annoys me. There is this one group, there's a Ninja Turtle raffle group that I'm in. And,
of course
there is.
But they don't use random.org. They use some spinner wheel website, and I can't run my own video just because I don't want to take the time to learn this website.
Random.org is such an easier way.
Yeah,
when you say spinner, I'm thinking of the board game Life with that little spinner in the middle.
Oh, I thought you were going to say fidget spinner.
A fidget spinner, bro. I got about. If anybody needs a fidget spinner, I bought a case of them, dude. So
you would. How much that case cost you?
About $20. No, I'm joking.
Unless they're Batman, I don't want them.
I know.
But this wheel thing is not as easy as random.org. It eliminates each name individually until it gets down to number one. So these videos are like 10, 15 minutes long, and I'm just like,
I would think you'd excel at that, Paul. That's your average pickup video.
Yeah.
Survival of the fittest there.
Just can't do it.
And Paul doing a 15-minute video would turn in an hour and 20.
Right, yeah, I have to restart it, pause it, and restart and resets. Shit would fall down, baby'd be crying in the background.
Run out of room on your camera.
Yeah, storage is full.
I've done that before. Don't laugh.
I hated Raz videos. I hated them so much. I did 5, I think, and God, every time.
I hated
it. It would just be so much stress.
Yeah, it had to be perfect. But they have this other group. So people wanted to, I don't know, it's an offshoot of this turtle group, which, I mean, it's cool. Some of the stuff they list.
Offshoot of turtles.
No. Well, the secondary group is list. Because they used to have something called Fuck It Fridays where you could list whatever you wanted. And so rather than have that, they made an entire different group where you could list whatever you want whenever you want. So the other day, there was a hacked Amazon Fire Stick that was up for $100 and it filled. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And then someone put up a tobacco pipe and I was like, I'm done. That was the last straw.
Was it a real good tobacco pipe, though? Was it made out of mahogany?
No, it was a glass Jimmy pipe for a Rick and Morty theme. I can't.
Tobacco. Was tobacco in quotes?
I'd have to find it again. I think I sent a picture of it to one of our group chats. I'm like, this is too much.
I think we're setting. That was me. I think we're setting a new low. There's 5 watchers right now, and I think that's probably us.
I'm not in there.
You know what it is? I figured out. Preacher's on. Everybody's watching fucking Preacher.
Yeah.
There might be the same amount of people watching Preacher as watching us.
Yeah, I think we covered everything. I mean, it's about that time.
Yeah.
A little bit early, but
that's cool.
I think we got 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, 2.5, something like that. But Will was asking, what are we watching on eBay?
We went 1 for 2 tonight, Will. I'm not going to tell you what I won, but I went 1 for 2.
I want to know what Dino won.
We'll talk about that off air.
I lost my fucking book.
Yeah, I went 1 for 2. So
I lost 2 books today. Balls ass.
You got to set your snipes, people.
I just refuse to. God damn it.
You're that dude that just.
It's funny. I was driving.
Refuses to sell on eBay because you know what? Them damn kids only buy on eBay.
I was driving home and thought I'm gonna forget to bid, and I'm like, but I'm not gonna bid on while I'm driving the kids home. I'll do it as soon as I get home, and then I'm rushing to get them in bed.
Your family's safety is not important as an eBay auction, dude. You gotta.
Yeah.
Just
And
do
I
the
started
work on it.
talking to you assholes, and then next thing I know, I missed the damn thing. I'm blaming you guys.
Well, do it up, man.
Sounds about right.
It's Paul's fault. I'm gonna blame it on goddamn Paul.
That's
Yeah.
right. I just set a snipe for something I forgot I was watching. Thanks for the reminder, Will. Check my watch list. I gotta look up the GPA real quick.
Paul's
All right.
Paul's watch list must be amazing.
I would love a peek at Paul's watch list. That should be another segment.
That would be an interesting thing to post one time. Is just post our watch list, or maybe like what had we watched our closed watch list for
Yeah.
Yeah.
a week. We could
Maybe-
do that we could do that on the page.
Yeah. We'll make a.
What was your 3 days of watch list that you missed? That
Yeah,
would be an interesting look at people.
We can always make a subcategory or whatever, and just people just post whenever they want to or something too.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
We'll post it up tomorrow, maybe.
All right. You guys want to call it a night?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Sounds good. We'll catch you next time.
All right,
Thanks for
see ya.
listening.
Later.
Later. We'll put on Facebook. We'll put on Google Plus.
Click live.
I know. I know we're still live.
I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say we'll figure out what trade paperback we're gonna read for 2 weeks from now and let everybody know.
Sounds
That
good.
was it.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Paul.
It's all right. All right. Talk to you later.